It began with 1,000 strangers, dropped onto 4 unforgiving islands, with nothing but their wits and their will to survive. No instructions, no second chances, one death, and you were gone forever. This is the story of how they built civilizations, and how, in just 10 days, they went from scattered survivors to nations locked in war. Snow Island, the frozen throne in the barren ice of Snow Island. The cold was merciless. The land gave nothing. Polar bears hunted the weak. Powdered snow swallowed the careless. But in that frozen hell, a leader emerged, Elanulo. He forged the Aculon Empire's strict laws, military ranks, taxes, and fear. His people were fed, but silenced. His word was law, and soon rebellion stirred. A man named Turkey, Elanulo's own second in command, dared to dream of freedom. He smuggled citizens out of Aculon, helping them escape tyranny. To many, he was a hero. To Elanulo, he was a traitor. And then it happened. In front of the Empire, Elanulo executed Turkey. His death was meant to inspire fear. Instead, it inspired revolution. Desert Island Blat in the sandfire across the sea. On the endless dunes of the desert, 2 nations rose. The Sultanate ruled with fire and iron. Its citizens labored, obeyed, or died. But in the shadows, a rival was born. Theria, a small, democratic state preaching freedom and equality. The conflict was inevitable. Whispers of betrayal became blades in the night, and when the Sultan was assassinated, his empire collapsed overnight. Theria, though fragile, survived, and the dream of democracy spread. Jungle Island chaos and cults in the thick jungles. Chaos reigned. Tribes clashed daily over food, land, or pride. Trust was fleeting. Betrayal was constant. Yet 2 forces rose from the madness. The first were the Sea People visionaries who saw trade, unity, and stability. The second was darker, a cult devoted to a man named Seth, worshipping him as divine. Temples were raised, rituals performed. The jungle's tribes bent to his will. It was a land of assassins and zealots where power shifted with every sunrise. Plains Island, a beacon of hope art on the wide open plains, something remarkable took shape. Here, leaders like Horus Crown and Sidefall built not an empire, but a democracy. Citizens voted, villages thrived, shops opened, roads connected towns. While the snow fell to tyranny, the desert bled, and the jungle tore itself apart. The plains became a shining beacon of order, prosperity, and freedom. The 5th Islanthan, the world changed. On the 5th day, a new island rose from the sea. Its land was jagged, its ruins ancient, and within its soil lay the rarest of treasures, netherite. But no one dared claim it, for all knew whoever touched the 5th island would spark a war. The world turned when Turkey fell in the snow. His death echoed across the world. He became a legend, a martyr, and one by one, nations began to turn against Elanulo's empire. The plains democracy, the desert state of Theria, and even the fractured tribes of the jungle, united under one banner, freedom, and together, they marched toward war. The Battle of Aculon allied armies crossed the seas and stood before the Iron Torch, Elanulo's fortress of lava and stone, towering above the snow. For hours, the battlefield burned. Arrows rained from the sky. Lava swallowed men alive. Swords clashed as bodies fell into the frozen dust. But the allies did not stop. Wall by wall, tower by tower, the Iron Torch crumbled, until finally, Elanulo's empire collapsed. The tyrant surrendered, and in the ruins of his fortress, the victors built not another castle, but a graveyard, a memorial to the thousands who had fallen, and to Turkey, whose sacrifice had changed the world. The new world Snow Island became the Aculon Republic, its chains broken. The desert healed under the Riot's democracy. The jungle still danced with chaos and faith, but even there, the fires dimmed, and the plains endured, strong and prosperous. What began as survival had become civilization. 1,000 players entered a world of danger. They built empires, they fought wars, they discovered tyranny, rebellion, and hope. And in the end, they learned the oldest lesson of all, that no matter the world real or virtual, humanity will always seek power, always fight for freedom, and always write its own story.